Hello and welcome to the Blue Amber Saga. So, I wanted to share with you guys my own testimony of how I became a Christian. And so, with this, I've decided to link it with one of my favourite Bible stories, which I'm going to share with you guys now. And so, there was a man called Samuel who was sent by the Lord to appoint the new king of Israel from the family of Jesse. When he arrived, he saw his eldest son and thought, "This must be the one the Lord has picked." But the Lord said to Samuel, "Do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." Then Samuel saw the second son, but it wasn't him either. Then Samuel saw the third son, but again it wasn't him. He saw 7 of Jesse's sons, but none of them the Lord had picked. And Samuel asked, "Are these all your sons?" And Jesse replied, "There is still the youngest. He is tending the sheep." And Samuel asked for the son to come to him. So he was sent for and brought to Samuel. Then the Lord said, "Rise and anoint him. This is the one." In this you can see that the sons of Jesse, who were considered for being the next king, had the traits which we would think a king should be. So whether that's being strong, smart, popular, etc. However, God in this doesn't actually pick them. He chooses the youngest son, David, who doesn't have any of the qualities that are expected, and who spent his whole life working with sheep, someone who is considered not worthy of kingship. And so, similar to David, I too wasn't considered important to the world, mainly because of my autism. And so, when I was little, my parents were told by my head teacher that I would get 0 in all my exams in the future. And in other words, that I would just have no qualifications, not be able to work, and to just be considered as stupid and a burden to society. And I just felt I had no purpose or hope, and just always to be in somebody else's shadow. And this got a lot worse when I was older, as there was a situation where I had a massive crush on a girl who didn't feel the same way. And I just kept asking questions to myself like, why doesn't she love me? Like, how come she won't talk to me anymore? How can I just fix all this and things to go back to the way they were? And to all of this, I knew who and what the problem was. Me. All the more I just began to hate myself and felt so unloved and lonely. And there were points where, quite frankly, I just wanted to kill myself. But sometime after this, and after concluding that God doesn't exist because he can't answer prayer, I went to a Christian event as my family was all going to it. So during the talk, the darkness in my heart just melted away, and I had this incredible sense of peace and happiness take its place. And I felt so loved and accepted by Jesus, which led to me to actually choosing to accept him in my life. And now looking back on it all, I can see that everything the world said about me was wrong. And instead of being a failure, I ended up doing exceedingly well in my GCSEs, was a supervisor to a farm shop for 2 years and looking after volunteers through that. Also receiving many rewards through my competitive swimming and farming and my academia stuff. And also achieving a degree was all really big things. However, though, none of this was possible just by my own doing, and that there was always a God who was with me and loved me the whole time. And so when me and David were thought as unsuitable by the world, God had other plans. This is the Blue Amber Saga.